talking about drone regulation, and
Yes.
then right when we're talking about it or about to broach the subject politically and legally, somebody lands a drone on the White House lawn.
What's up, everybody? Today on Universal Theory, we are going to be continuing our AI series. If you like this content, let us know down in the comments below. If it's your first time here, we are holistic thinkers. We use left brain and right brain to bring these ideas together. We also add a touch of comedy on top of it, so we don't take ourselves too seriously, but we do think that critical thinking along with big idea thinking, along with not taking yourself too serious, is the perfect recipe for growth. So that's kind of our thing. And if you haven't seen some of our other episodes, I'll definitely remember to link something above. Go check those out, or check those out after you're done watching this one, because this one is a doozy. We've been doing this series now for just over a week, and this episode is going to be about AI and does it need to be regulated, and what do the creators of AI stand to benefit? And just thinking about kind of what they can, what does the creator of AI stand to benefit? And to me, I think about the Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution was, well, what do humans have to benefit from creating these machines? Well, it makes us more efficient. We have an assembly line now. Instead of one person working with 10 other people in the same spot building one car, I'm going to put them on an assembly line, and they're going to build 10 cars in the same amount of time that it took them to build one car. So you can kind of think of it as the same thing. And AI is going to help course correct. You tell it which way you want to go. Hey, this is my strategy. And an AI will help you get there tactically. It removes some of the guesswork. It removes human error. Right? Just kind of like when you code something for automation, you don't have to worry about somebody pressing the wrong thing or hitting the wrong button. And then you can sell that. You can monetize off of that. You can go to a company that has a 97% success rate and they make, $200 million a year, a smaller company, right? And say, well, for $1 million, we can get you to almost 100%. So we'll get rid of that 2% error, which is $4 million. So you're going to make 4 times your money in a year. So it's things like that would allow for AI to be so appealing to a businessman, is this idea of error reducibility, just removing these errors. So in the sense of an industrial case, I think that what they have to gain from it is a lot of money. They have a lot of money, and making our lives, at least in a business sense, much more efficient. And just in general, right? AI could make our lives much more efficient. For anybody who has a job, I'm sure right now you could think of one thing that AI could help you do. Whether you edit photos, whether you code like I do, whether you're a project manager, or whether you're working at McDonald's, there's something or whether you're an artist, there's something that AI could help you be more efficient in your day. So to me, that's kind of why there's so much appeal to it.
Yeah, and it also increases our ability to survive. So, what do they stand to gain? Well, survivability. Because now we can say, well, we don't have to focus on certain tedious and potentially monotonous tasks. And time-consuming task, we can say it's automated now. Now let's start figuring out ways to navigate through the solar system.
Yeah.
And we can say, well, we're still, very fragile creatures because of our biology. So our fragility limits us from being able to explore the dangers of space. So we can use AI to do that. We can send AI out and say, hey, go out here, explore space for us, and tell us about the dangers, and set the parameters of travel. And then of course, these people are going to make billions and trillions of dollars because they're going to invent a machine that invents other machines.
Exactly.
And it's going to keep increasing their wealth and their power and their influence. So that could be positive or negative. It just depends on who are you giving power to and what are they using it for.
Yep.
But at the same time, instinctively, we all have the same agenda, which is survivability.
Yeah, it does come down to that. And like you said, we could put an AI in a spaceship like Tesla, right? Elon with SpaceX could put an AI in a spaceship, and as long as there's power to that ship, it could continue to thrive, and it could, while it's traveling to where it's traveling, it could be building. It looks like this, right? This is what the planet looks like on its core. This is the temperatures. It starts to get information about this planet, and it could literally just start to build a hover, like something that's, okay, you're going to go out and you're like my drone. So once we land, I have the perfect drone to go out and explore because I know what the planet's like, and an AI could do that. So it could very much help us with space travel. I mean, it gets much bigger than just planet Earth. And that's also, what do they have to gain? Well, the first people to come to America, I guess, and colonize it, right? They gained a lot.
Yes.
They have old money. They have a lot. And that's a very small scale. Imagine the first families to go to Mars or the first families to go to some of these other planets with the help of AI. Well, now we're talking about a whole different type of dynasty, right? It's a whole nother level. So do we need regulations? They're preaching for them right now, and this is the problem. And me and you talked about this yesterday. When you have a salesperson come to your home, because the Senate doesn't know anything about technology. I'm sorry, they don't. They don't care either. They're just doing their thing. So you're at home and you don't know much about solar panels. These are a good thing, but let me just use this example. So a salesperson comes to your house and is like, oh, you need to regulate your electricity use. You can regulate your electricity use and your bill by buying my solar panels. And you're like, oh, I didn't know that about solar panels. So you buy the solar panels. And then the next person comes and he sells guards to protect your solar panels from rats or from birds. And he's like, oh, that person didn't tell you about the guards? Oh, they want you to have to come back and fix their solar panels. Let me sell you these guards. So you just get this string of people wanting to sell you things, and that's what's happening right now with big tech. You've got Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, pleading with Congress saying, we need help, we need these regulations. Well, the Senate's going to say, okay, well, what regulations? And then they're eating right out the palm of big tech's hands.
Yes, exactly. And then the fact that he was like, well, I'm not benefiting from this monetarily. It's like, you could be right about that, but then that's also like incentive for them to say, oh, well, of course they need regulations. This guy's altruistically doing this for the sake of humanity. Whatever regulations that they want us to impose are probably
also for that.
Yeah, exactly. So that could be a chess move. I mean, I don't know the guy. Maybe it's not. But the point is, there's always these positives and negatives when it comes down to whether or not something should be regulated. Yes. I mean, I remember talking about drone regulation. And then right when we're talking about it or about to broach the subject politically and legally, somebody lands a drone on the White House lawn.
Right. Exactly.
It's like, okay, well, what's the positive in regulating it? Well, stuff like that doesn't happen. Someone doesn't drop C4 off at your house randomly like a pizza. Boom. But at the same time, it's like, well, what if you're regulating it so that only you can use it in that specific way?
Exactly. Like, what if you're I mean, there's plenty of people that use drone photography that now can't. And it's like, well, that protects, from the creep. That might be, so it's our fears, right? They're always going to use our fears against us. It's because we're not civilized enough and we don't think holistically enough as a society yet to say, we don't got to worry about that creep because, if someone's having these impulses to take pictures of someone from their drone in their bedroom, they know to go get help. They know that that's an unhealthy fixation that they have, and we trust that they're going to be working on that. Instead, we're like, no, this person's going to be hiding away in a corner doing his thing. And so we have to regulate drones for safety of our kids. It's always a fear, and then for safety of others and yourself. So we need to just be looking into tech. Has just such a hold. I could go on this forever, and I don't want to, but with not necessarily conspiracies, but we can see through the past of how tech has just really maneuvered through the Senate because they have no idea what's going on. And it has always worked to the benefit of these tech companies.